What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Everything Sport Ricky. So today we're gonna talk about some trade rumors in the NFL. As you guys know, next week is gonna be the first week where teams can sign free agents. But the biggest rumor in the NFL during this offseason is where Antonio Brown is going to end up. So he's departing from the Steelers. That's because of some incomparations with the coach Mike Tomlin and because of a bad relationship with the quarterback Big Ben. So there are a couple teams that can afford Antonio Brown and that are interested in Antonio Brown. I want to focus on two teams. One is the 49ers and one is the Oakland Raiders. In my opinion, Antonio Brown is going to end up with the Raiders. The reason for this is that the Raiders, of course, they have more cap and they have more picks, so they have more things that they can afford in giving up for Antonio Brown. In my opinion, Antonio Brown would like to go to the 49ers, though, because San Francisco is still one of the biggest market in the NFL. No, he's been playing around on Twitter with Jerry Rice. I think if he goes to the 49ers, he will have all their media attention on him. So he's like a diva kind of player, so he likes attention. So the focus will be all on him and he will love that. But I don't think the 49ers are willing to give up their second overall pick, not at all. And I don't think they're willing to give up their second pick in the second round. So in my opinion, there is a big gap between what the Steelers want and what the 49ers can afford. Their 34th pick overall in the draft, in my opinion, should be good enough for Antonio Brown, but the Steelers may want a little bit more. That's why I think the Raiders is a better landing spot for the Browns, for Antonio Brown. That's because I feel like the Raiders, they have more cap, they have more picks, so they can give more to the Steelers in exchange for Antonio Brown. In my opinion, the Raiders are gonna keep the 4th overall pick and they're gonna keep the 24th overall pick, and they're gonna give the Steelers the 27th overall pick for Antonio Brown and perhaps even a later round pick. According to Adam Schefter, the deal is gonna be realized this weekend as early as Friday. I think it will make sense for the Raiders to acquire Antonio Brown. First of all, because there are not that many good wide receiver in free agency this year. I mean, the biggest names are Golden Tate, who's 30 years old, and Tyrell Williams, who's 26. But Antonio Brown is definitely one or two steps above those guys for sure. And then the Raiders would be much better off getting a guy like Antonio Brown than drafting a rookie guy that can be a boom or bust. Who never knows, because sometimes it's unpredictable how those guys turn out in the NFL. And definitely Antonio Brown is two steps above all the rookies wide receiver in this draft class. Even though I personally like a couple of them. So it would make sense for the Raiders to go and acquire Antonio Brown, because they need this type of talent, and this type of talent is not available neither in the free agency or in the draft. And also the Steelers will get a good draft pick, a good value for Antonio Brown, considering also his age. So the Steelers will have 2 draft picks, and they could draft Antonio Brown's replacements with their 27th overall. So basically the Raiders are going to give up Amari Cooper and get Antonio Brown back. So we'll see how that turns out. In my opinion, that will make sense for both teams. Antonio Brown doesn't want to stay with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Steelers will actually get something back for him, and it will make sense. And the Raiders will definitely give their quarterback, who in my opinion is not going to be Derek Carr, because if you guys go watch my mock draft, I'm giving Murray to the Raiders, and you guys can see my whole theory behind that in the mock draft video. So imagine drafting Kyler Murray and imagine signing Antonio Brown. That will be a major move for the Raiders, especially since they're going to move to Las Vegas next year on a couple seasons. That would make perfect sense. And then let's turn on the next topic. One more trade talk, and that's Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, and the major hint is that Beckham may go to the Cleveland Browns. Uh, Experts are also saying that the Raiders are interested in Beckham as well, but I think the Raiders would like Antonio Brown more than Beckham. First of all, because if they want to get Beckham, they will have to give up much more for Beckham than they would for Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown as then Odell Beckham to the Cleveland Browns makes sense. First of all, I don't think Beckham wants to stay in New York much longer. I think he's tired of that team. I think he's tired of Eli Manning. And then the Giants, they have many holes to fix. And I think they're gonna focus their offense on Barkley. So I think they want to concentrate all the offense on Barkley. And also Beckham, like Antonio Brown, is like a diva player, and he wants all the attention on him. And now that Barkley is with the Giants, no, the media has shifted towards Barkley more than Beckham. Also, going to the Browns, he will pair up with Landry. Those guys are major friends. He will have a much better quarterback than he has right now in New York, and that's Baker Mayfield. And that will elevate the Cleveland Browns roster offensively. It makes perfect sense because from what I've heard, the Cleveland Browns are going to give up the 17th overall pick, the guard Kevin Ziegler, and plus a later round pick. He makes sense because the Giants will get a 17th overall pick plus one of the best guard available, one of the best guard in the NFL right now. And the Giants, they just let Collins go, so they have the cap to incorporate this new guard, and they will fix a major hole in their offensive line. And plus, everybody thinks that the Giants are going to draft a quarterback. So if you give a quarterback a really good guard, a better offensive line, and then you have a superstar, all-star running back, I think that will be a major improvement for this team. And then with the 17th overall pick, the Giants could go defense or can try to replace Beckham with a wide receiver. In my opinion, makes sense. And then of course the Browns will elevate their offense. Getting a guy like Beckham will make you already a super contender for your division. He will really separate you from the Steelers and from the Baltimore Ravens. So, in my opinion, it makes sense. I don't know if this trade is gonna go through. I think Antonio Brown to the Raiders is almost a certain deal. Beckham and Browns, I think it's gonna take some time. I think we're gonna talk about this trade for a couple more weeks and maybe even one more month until the draft is here. But for my personal take, it makes perfect sense for the Browns to acquire Beckham, and it makes perfect sense for the Giants to let Beckham go because he doesn't want to stay in New York. The Giants have an all-star running back. They're going to draft a rookie quarterback, and they're getting back a guard who is going to protect the quarterback and is going to improve the offensive line overall. So it's going to give Barkley even better spaces to run. So the Giants are in a rebuilding phase. It's gonna take some time, and Beckham clearly doesn't want to stay there, and then he has a huge contract. It makes sense, in my opinion, for Beckham to leave and go to the Cleveland Browns, who have just cut Jamie Collins, who signed a big contract a couple years ago. So the Cleveland Browns have the cap to give Beckham the money that he wants. So let me know what you guys think about this video, about these trade talks, and leave me a comment about your personal take on those two guys. And for the 49ers, I don't think the 49ers are going to make any major moves in the offseason. They're going to stick with their draft picks, and they're trying to build their team with the draft picks and perhaps some major signings in the free agency, but nothing too crazy. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about Antonio Brown, and if Beckham to the Browns is something that could happen. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. I'll catch you next time.